Hello, entrepreneurs. Joe DeChara, CPA extraordinaire, coming to you live from downtown Flushing, New York, for another amazing episode of How to Win at Business. And tonight, folks, I want to talk for a short time about our upcoming webinar. Uh, what is this? Oh, okay. We have a webinar coming up on July 15th about raising money through getting grants, setting up nonprofits, and doing some crowdfunding campaigns. You know, never before in history has there been so many opportunities to raise money creatively and keep it. So you could actually increase your cash flow without increasing your sales, believe it or not. Now, it's not simple. It's not easy. I'm not gonna lie to you. You got to be able to do a lot of legwork. You got to have the ability to write for a grant. You got to know how to look for them. With the crowdfunding, same thing. You got to find the right platform. I mean, there's platforms opening up all the time. Specific platforms. I'm not going to go into detail. You got to register for the webinar on July 15th. I put a link in the chat box here. And if you're watching live, give me a hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. Like I said, this is going to be a really short presentation. I'm not the bona fide expert. My executive assistant VA, Elizabeth Frederick, knows a ton of stuff about this. She's a real expert on all the different facets of getting money for free, basically free money. Now, it's not always technically free because actually some grants are taxable. If you're a business owner and you get a grant, it's going to be added to your taxable income. But the offshoot of that is you're going to spend that money. You're going to spend that money for the reason why you got the grant. So it becomes a wash. So I have a former client that got a $15,000 grant that she had to actually spend in a week. $15,000. So she hired a couple of friends who were professionals, web designer, social media. She got a lot for $15,000. And that's one of the things that opened my eyes to the ability to get this money. And the truth is, since COVID, there is so much out there, and it's not just the government. There are, corporations that give all kinds of grants. Microsoft, Apple. I mean, I would say that all of the big corporations have some kind of grant program. Now, some of them, obviously, you're going to have to jump through hoops because there's a lot of other people applying for the grants too. And the grants, there's only so much money for each grant. So once they run out of money, that's it. First come, first serve. But then there's always new grants coming up. Now, another feature that we're going to start getting into, and we'll talk about this in the webinar, is becoming SBA certified to be able to bid on government contracts. Now, again, this is a long process. I've been told that it takes up to 3 years. We do have some people that are 8A certified with the SBA. Once you get certified, you stay certified up to 9 years. You just have to fill out some information every year to make sure that you still qualify. But folks, this is a way to, if you're running a business, you got to think outside the box. And this is outside the box. These are areas that I've known about for a long time, but really didn't have the time or the expertise or the team to follow up with this stuff. I've done a lot of SBA work in the past, and it was torturous, to be honest with you. When I went for SBA loans, you need to put together strong financials. You can't just be a fly-by-night. Another thing to consider is if you're a startup, there are there are grants for startups, but it's mostly in the research and development area. So if you're like into technology, I have a client who's a doctor, he does research. So if it's research, R&D, something that's going to, change the world for the better. I have a client who does, she programs robots. Okay, so you got to buy the robot, but without the software, the robot is useless. Okay. And I have another client, a friend, who developed his own software. So now the software, now this is another example of some of the out of the box things that are available. The software development may qualify for the R&D credit, so if you're in the software business, if you're in research and development, if you're even building something new for your business that's nobody else has, you might be able to get a grant or even a loan from the SBA to help you develop your product or service. So that's my story tonight. I'm going to come back in about a half an hour with an IRS update. I got some interesting stories for you, and I'm looking forward to that. If any of this resonates with you, please feel free to book a free chat with me. I love talking about business, saving money, beating the IRS at their own game. So all you need to do is go to timewithjoe.com to book an appointment. And another thing I'd like to invite you to is my mastermind, mastermindwithjoedechara.com. We meet every Saturday. We play Jeopardy. We network, we learn, and we support each other. So again, that's my story. I'm sticking with it. God bless, and I will see you again in a few minutes. Thank you.